Exhale. There we go. All right, okay. All right, we're done.
Okay.
I'm used to being here.
Yeah.
I know, we have to take it the opposite.
Oh my God.
Bruise.
So that's that injury I was talking about on that left side. That's what's, you're essentially, it's on the left and you're gonna go away from it, and you see how the right's gonna take extra stress.
That's the knot that you were.
That's what I was digging on.
Oh.
When this is all the shoulder blades, these are all the roots of your neck.
I had a car accident about 6 months ago.
Okay.
And he took, I think an MRI or
Just X-rays?
X-ray. Yeah, he took
Okay.
X-rays.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. Have you heard much about the alignment, lordosis, or arches in your spine? Anybody mention any of that? No?
No.
Okay. And what are you feeling currently?
Back pain in the upper middle section towards the right, and then the right shoulder.
Kind of midline here, or on
More
shoulder blades?
close to the shoulder blades on the
Shoulder
right
blades.
side. Yeah.
Okay. But the lower neck refers pain right to that area, so we call it pain referral. The joints in your lower neck, so come over here, Carlin. Well, go ahead and look up for me. So the first place your neck starts to fold is right here in the lower neck. Look straight forward. And there's some folding up here, but most of the initial creasing is bending right here in your lower neck. And so these joints in your lower neck, when they're overstressed, will give you pain in the shoulder blade. And so when you get in a car accident, or a motorcycle accident, the parts of your back that are moving are the ones that get injured the most. If your alignment is such that the lower neck is the loosest, when you're injured, that's where all the force goes. The lower neck joints will give you that pain along that border of the scapula. The curve, there's supposed to be an arch in your neck. This is what's unfortunate, because you said you've been to chiropractors or been to care and haven't heard the word lordosis. There's supposed to be a curve in your neck that allows the weight to be spread over all the segments. And when that curve isn't there, it unlocks the lower neck and allows the lower neck to be easily injured when something happens. So we're sort of set up for injuries because nobody's looking at our alignment from a preventative perspective, like, look, let's get you in this position, so that when a force goes into your spine, you're in the best position possible for that to be spread out as much as we can.
When the accident happened, I was wearing a spine protector.
Okay.
So that kind of saved the lower back, but all the ligaments and everything else got mangled.
How do your knees feel? How does everything else feel?
It feels great when it's good weather and I'm careful.
Did they say you have any ligament tears?
All the ligaments were torn in the knee and the ankle.
Yes.
And then they went ahead and took the front ligament, took the center section, and then connected it to connect the meniscus.
Right.
And then in the ankle, they took the ligament around on the outside, took it off, shortened it, and then reattached it. I was told I won't be able to kneel down or run or jet ski or play sports or lift weights. Basically do everything.
How much range of motion? Show me, like, for instance, we'll start with this leg first. So come over here, put your leg on the table like this. Right? How does that feel? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, show me another leg. Try to get that bottom down. Let's see. How difficult?
I feel a little strain, but still not difficult.
All right, so they made you, I call this being a chiropractic invalid. They tried to make you a doctor invalid. You understand? You're not allowed to do anything because if you have an injury, you're going to blow that thing up. Something like that. You know what they said? You know, I mean, gosh, we live in a liability world. That's part of why this exists, because, you know, if we don't tell you that, then something happens, you try to litigate that person. I don't, you know, do you feel it sliding in there? Do you feel like something's unstable in that knee?
Occasionally, I'll feel it kind of go back side to side.
Uh-huh.
And then if I step incorrectly, it'll kind of
twinge.
Yeah, so just ultra careful.
It's the instability. So the meniscus in there doesn't like shearing force. It can handle compressive forces, but it doesn't like sliding forces. So when you're feeling that kind of twinge, it does shear that meniscus, and that meniscus is not a regenerable structure. It can be rehydrated, but you know, you're young enough that we want to get that to last another 50, 60 years, and so we want to, you know, not wear that out as quickly as possible. I'm not a big pro football or, you know, I love jet skis, but my point is that take it with an understanding that we live in a liability world, and so, you know, yes, be careful, but I don't think stop doing everything you want to do in life. Gosh, let me have you starting back for. So 24 vertebrae. real quickly for all you guys. 5 have all surgery. So the sort of the basic principle of my office is understanding why lumbar 5 and lumbar 4 and cervical 5, 6, and 7 in the lower neck enjoy having 99% of surgery. So the medical and chiropractic world's current explanation is that it's age and weight. My question for that is, how old is this area or this area? The areas that don't have surgery are the same age as the areas that are having surgery. So it's not age that causes disc injury, it's alignment and mobility. If a part of your back isn't moving, it doesn't age. If a part of our back is moving excessively, it ages quickly. So part of what I'm going to first check out on you today is going through most likely the areas that aren't that aged to see if they're working, right? So if this part of your back is stiff, then your lower back is going to continue bending, and bending too much, we call it hypermobility, and that ages it at a faster rate. When there's a curve in your back, it sort of keeps the alignment in such a way that your spine moves evenly. When the curve is straightened because of sitting and life and injuries, because the back part of our spine has a lot of feeling, our bodies tend to round forward. This is why you see elderly people all going forward. It's a feel better position to take the weight off the joint that has sensation, and then these little nerves on the backside that have a lot of feeling. So our body puts the weight onto the non-sensitive disc. That then ages the disc at a faster rate. And so the pain that you're experiencing, no, there's no numbness down your arms, is that correct?
No, my left arm gets numb a lot easier than the right, but
Okay, so you're starting to get some pressure, or at the very least that it's close to the threshold. You understand that all
Yeah.
I do is I lift my arm up, all of a sudden I feel you're
no, I thought it was just related to the hospital stays. They did all the IVs and everything into this section,
okay.
and so I thought that was just related to it.
If it's circulation, you understand, if you like see your hands going purple, but it's probably neurological. You
Yeah.
understand, which means that it's your neck.
Okay.
So the same area that gives you pain here is
Mhm.
where the nerves that go down your arm. Deep breath in for me. Exhale. All right, good. All right, other side for me. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale. All right, face up for me. Okay, face up. Let me see here. And you didn't hear the word lordosis before. I'm so sorry.
Well, it was a Russian Ukrainian chiropractor lady, so maybe.
Oh, the different word for it. Well, curve is fine. If it said so, 102 years chiropractors taught that adjusting people changes the posture. So if there's no curve in your neck and you want a curve in your neck, that we simply just crack the bones, and that puts the curve in your neck. Enough research was shown that it's stretching, phones, life, looking down, that takes the curve out of your neck, and it's only through stretching backwards can we restore it. So there's no manual exercise. You can't pedal bicycle pedals for 20 minutes and not get the curve back to your spine, right? There's no active exercise. There's no holding your head back to get the curve in. You have to stretch. It's the same way that your curve was lost is how it's going to be restored. So why don't you just give me the stretches, Ed, and I'll be on my way, and then that'll make my shoulder blade not hurt. Because I can't be, confident that you can stretch safely if your whole neck isn't moving evenly, right? If I give you the stretches and your lower neck exclusively does it, then we end up stressing it out too much. Does that make sense? Gentle. Here we go. Come on. There you go. You did great. You did great. There we go. There we go. Let this side go. Chin up for me. Now relax. Relax your neck. There you go. Okay. I'll show you in a second. Your neck belongs, here.
That doesn't feel comfortable.
Right. Well, because if this felt normal, you wouldn't need to
Yeah.
be here, right? You understand? Your neck at 6 months old used to be curved. Every baby on this planet has a 45-degree arch in their neck at 6 months old if you hold your head up against gravity. That's why we call it natural. You can't stop it. It just develops on its own after birth. We develop our lumbar curve on the contingency that if we crawled. If you don't crawl on your belly, you don't develop your lumbar curve. So it's important and necessary that parents force their children to arch up. I have had patients that never crawled when they were young, and then they developed accelerated aging. By 20, they had disc injuries because they didn't have the original alignment.
Oh, wow.
Like a ladder. Where's the weight go on a ladder? It goes right to the bottom. It's not surprising why the last 2 guys in the lower back have all the surgery, because that's where all the work is handed off to. There we go. All right. Little one right there. Right there. All right. Essentially, from these traumas you've been through, the left middle part of your back is the most injured and then the most avoided. And so because the left middle part is being avoided, the right lower is ultimately going to be doing extra because one area is being, does that make sense, avoided?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I have my back go out, that's usually where.
The right lower?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get the alignment better, restore the original mobility, which is that this area functions up here. The stretching seals it so you don't have to go 3 times a week the rest of your life. That's not my intent nor my goal, nor do I think anybody should really need that level, unless you're like mixed martial artist or something, getting beat up heavily, but if you just want to live your life with your kids and just, not hurt, we should be able to train you on how to brush your own teeth. You're saying you don't have to go to a dental hygienist every day, having them clean your teeth. That's ridiculous. You get checkups, but then you're participating at home. Can you feel that knot right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Please get off of it. My joke is, the new study shows that football players that spend their whole season on the bench never get concussion. Right? Oh my gosh, Dr. Ed, how'd you get so smart? You don't crack the teeth that you don't chew on, right? You don't. And so if the football players on the field are getting injured and you want to have them not get injured, the best way to help them is to get them off the field. But somebody's got to be on the field. Somebody has to carry the burden. Somebody's got to do the mechanical load. The best solution is to have it all working evenly. What happens when you have injuries and then your body loses members of your team. So every trauma you go through, you start off at a young age with 24 players, and you've whittled your team down to a skeleton crew of 5, right? And now those 5 are going, all right, better not make us upset.
Yeah. Everybody has to work harder.
Everybody has to work harder. That's it. That's the entire. But that's being labeled disease. We're labeling that 5 workers doing all the work, and then they grow. It's not a disease. There we go. I got some marks coming out here. Right here is.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah.
The other tissue I had was more of the press and hold.
Okay. Not really.
No,
working,
no.
Not combing. I'm just going to put the brush in your hair and just hold it still. And I'm going to put the brush in your hair over here and hold it still. Well, hold on. I think the brush has to be kind of moved a little bit to untangle, right? No, we just stick it in there.
There's a reason why I didn't go back.
You have to move the brush around. Is that how you brush your teeth? You take your brush and you kind of just hold it on your... You have to move the thing around. Unless you have the electric one, but whatever, that's still moving, it's just buzzing. Anyway. Yeah. Right
What is
there.
that clicking?
Right. It's because these are the roots of your neck. This is not really your shoulder. These are the roots of your neck attaching down here. They're working much harder than they're supposed to be because your head is forwardly, your head is forward from your shoulders, so there's forwardly angulated. That's what's putting extra stress on this attachment down here. So we're trying to press down these attachments to get your head back upright. The head going forward is what's causing ultimately your pain. We have to get the ear back over the shoulder.
Oh man, you guys have such greatness coming for you. Oh my God.
There we go. Get your t-shirt on the way out. I survived, Dr. Ed. I survived. I don't know how I did.
So glad I went first.
If I had seen this, I would have not. I'm getting out of here. There's some crunchy right there, yeah. very quickly, and Mark came out right here. This is the oldest injury, or the stiffest part of your back here on your left middle. This is what essentially throws the work to the opposite lower. So untangling this, and then in a minute we're going to show you on your back how to stretch and maintain some mobility and get the spine back into the right alignment. Well, Ed, it's not killing me that much. Let's not let it get to a severe point. We change our oil in our car way before we have an engine that's leaking and damaged. This is an oil change. There you go. Yeah, these are all the roots of your neck here. They're just, it's like they're meant to hold 10 pounds. You understand, these muscles in your neck are meant to hold a 10-pound head, but when your head angulates forward, every inch it goes forward, it doubles the weight. So it goes from 10, 20, 40. So you got them doing 4 times what they're supposed to do because of the position of your head. A lot of that has to do with the recovery from injuries. When you have an injury, we heal on the couch, or we heal in a hospital bed, right? We heal forwardly rotated, and no one really says anything about it. Just myself having a chiropractor as a father, I had to heal being adjusted, which wasn't fun. Dad, I want to be left alone. Sorry, get on the table and get adjusted. It was. How does that feel? I mean, if I do this, some people always like, you're tearing his skin off. How would you?
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. Just usually, I find I actually look forward to it. It's like, yes, just get it out of me. Kind of like, I don't know, squeegeeing off a car, or rinsing a car off, getting all the dirt off.
Well, after the elbow, anything's good.
After anything, oh great, okay. After digging with the elbow, man, everything. You can't hurt me anymore. That was just brutal. Believe it or not, people that after the first, 6, 7, 8 visits, eventually you actually look forward to it. Eventually you're just telling me about your day as I'm digging as hard as I can. There is no more tenderness.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I call my black belt patients, people that, have graduated. When I take a picture of your back in a minute, you'll see why that elbow was difficult. There's their internal acidity, lactic acid that's in here that's what you're feeling when I massage your back, and then surprise, it doesn't feel good. And so as that acidity leaves your body, okay, doesn't hurt so much. We get to that better place. So the stiffer this joint is, the more the lower back gets bitten up and torn up, and so keeping this joint in the game.
Oh my God.
Bruise.
So that's that injury I was talking about on that left side. That's you're essentially, it's on the left and you're gonna go away from it, and you see how the right's gonna take extra stress.
That's the knot that you were.
That's what I was digging on. And this is all the shoulder blades, these are all the roots of your neck. So just working on it isn't gonna, you'll feel better for a couple days, and then we live this depressing relationship with your chiropractor. Well, I feel better for a couple, but you didn't fix the posture, right? So all of that was to go in a second, we're gonna arch your back. So that when you leave here, if when you came in today you're here and you leave here more upright, that's the benefit. And then teaching you at home how to do things is good. Teaching you stuff at home on how to take care of it permanently. The tighter this is here, this chokes the knee. So this is this is part of what you're stretching when you do that knee stretch I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
You don't want this to get too tight. That makes the knee under a lot of like a vice grip, and then when you're moving it, you're gonna grind that meniscus at a faster rate. So the preventative health care for your knee would be to stretch the quad, make sure this is not getting too tender.
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, that's tender there.
Like you want to work, you see the tenderness in here is going to cause, I can actually see it, it's actually swollen right there, yeah. I wonder, is that where they probably got most of the, where do they think they scraped it out? Hard to say.
It was
Where they
so
were.
it's a cycloptic lesion
Right
up
there.
front. Yeah.
And this doesn't feel good here.
No, I
This
think
feels
that's
pretty
where
good.
they put the pin to do the traction.
Gotcha. This actually feels good over here, but then over here it's all like right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that does not feel good.
But but who's going to sign up for this? Oh yeah, I love spending my evenings rubbing the right, So, but I'm the crazy one that would. There's nothing here. Right, there's still like a little fluid. Feel that?
Yeah.
Kind of has a.
Yeah. Oh my god. And the upper section feels like it's just stuck.
Yes, I know. I'm working on it. Thanks for telling all my viewers. Yes, I know. That's part of it's my job to free it up. Oh, come on. Right there. All right. I got you. You're gonna breathe. Here we go. Exhale, push your chest forward a little bit for me. I got you, breathe. Exhale. There we go. All right, okay. All right, we're done.
Yeah.
Get you more upright. Your body's so used to being here.
Yeah.
I know, we have to take you
Wow.
the opposite. Straight forward. Tilt your head left for me a little bit. Go. There we go, tilt your head left. Just so like you're trying to hit your left ear to your
Oh,
shoulder.
okay.
There we go. I got you, Till. Okay. He's a good sport.
That's a first.
Give him the ear
Never
just.
had in my life.
All right. All right, go ahead and tilt your head. Okay, it's okay. Tilt. Okay, it's okay. Very good. Come over here for me. There we go. Arms up for me. And then head back for me. There you go. You okay? Try to keep the hands, I know. Eventually your hands should be on the floor. I know. And so it's a journey. It's not a race, it's a rally. This is a journey to getting your body used to being upright. The pain on the shoulder blade is postural. It's a mechanical overstressing due to your alignment. And so, like I said earlier, the purpose of the adjustment is to make your spine malleable and flexible so that the stretching can be done safely and that it actually effectively gets you more upright, and then you go, hey, my shoulder blade doesn't hurt anymore. It's our alignment that's putting the stress on that area, your lower neck. The best way for symptom relief would be maybe icing your lower neck, Epsom salt in your lower neck. Stop looking down so much. Every time you put your chin to your chest, that puts some stress on your lower neck. Okay? And you just sort of hang out here a little bit. And the idea is that every minute you kind of move 1 inch downwards, so you push with your feet and you're going to roll upwards, so you're coming this way. Get the idea? You move 1 inch down your back.
Okay.
And no thank you, Ed. And eventually this roller is down and right over that lovely lump in your middle back on that left side. Get the idea? This would eventually go down, and you go down and attack that and then run away, come back up to the top. Okay.
What's it gonna take to try to get the shoulders back?
So that's 2 birds with 1 stone. You're going to get your chest in, and we're going to do the shoulders back at the same time. It's stretching.
Okay.
You have to, I want all these angles. You got to do, I call it noon, 11 and 1, 10 and 2, 9 and 3. Make sense?
Yeah.
You have to spend time stretching. Now you can't stretch your shoulder back if your chest doesn't go in. So you got to get the back loosened up and your upper back, like kind of like bolts. You understand those bolts aren't turning up there. They need PB blaster. They got to let the threads soak for a couple days, and then we got to do it again.
Wow.
That's it. It's just
Does that feel pretty awkward?
It does. It feels like I'm like
Yeah.
looking at my forehead.
Yeah.
Right. Well, your neck is so used to having your chin down. That's part of this is a retraining. You have to let it be okay that your head comes back. That's the pain is coming from the lower neck being so opened up from looking down and life looking forward or down. And we have to learn how to, counter stretch, lay on your belly, arch up, cobra pose they would do in yoga, but it's just a imbalance forward. Okay. Just hang out here for a little bit. Let them hang up there. Very good.